Fine. Okay, I'm going to try to backtrack here because my brain is now a little frazzled. It's okay, technology, right? We learn, we grow. What to do is moving it from something that's not tangible, kind of like this shadow in the back of our mind, and put light on it so that we can. Your pile of laundry might look like somebody at night when it's dark and there are no lights on, might look like a person who's like out to get you, right? Like a murderer in the middle of the night sitting. I am trying to instill, not only in myself, but trying to help others incorporate in their life, realizing when you laundry in the corner with all the lights out, it's gonna feel way darker and scarier and creepier and more, just much more heavy than when you're able to turn on the lights and recognize, oh, that's a pile of laundry. It doesn't make the pile of laundry disappear, right? It doesn't mean that it doesn't necessarily make the problem go away. It just makes it feel a lot less scary. And that's honestly the best way that I can describe this process of organizing your overwhelm. So I know I had step that I like to take is to brain dump. Brain dumping is exactly like it sounds. It's very similar to brainstorming. Brainstorming is more about I need to find a solution to a problem, or I need to think about an idea or possible ways to bring all of the stuff that's in your brain, that pile of laundry, and to get it out in front of you so that you know what's going on. That way you have a tangible, like I said, it's just making it tangible. Today I'm going to be doing some journaling. I don't know if I will incorporate some brain dumping in that. But brain dumping is Jen literally walks around the house and like talks to himself, and that's how he works out these ideas. He has like point by point debates with himself. If you need to do that, that is, or not ideas, all of those thoughts that are in here out, that's going to be the first step, and it's going to be incredibly helpful to you. Okay, so the second step, once you've gotten everything out, and I like to try to incorporate two of my physical senses when I am brain dumping. So for me, that's writing. That way I can see it and I can like I'm feeling it. I'm physically, writing it out. And that way I'm really connecting to what's going on in my brain, that process. Once you get everything out, whether that's on paper or notes, however you do that, I want you to separate the ideas, or not the ideas, I keep saying ideas, but I legitimate, because I guarantee you, once you put some light on that pile of laundry, what once looked to be one thing might not be as bad, right? What do you mean by that, Kayla? I'll give you an example. So my husband and I have been working on getting out of debt for a while. But about 6 or 7 years ago, it was really, really bad, to the point where on a daily basis, I just didn't know how we were going to pay the bills. God always came through and helped us out, but all of the weight of debt. So what I would do occasionally when that anxiety of finances would to pay people back, people who had helped along the way, that if I had the extra money, I would write it all down. I'd get it all on paper, and all of the things that I was feeling about that. And once I started separating legitimate versus not legitimate, but it did take the edge off. What do you mean by that? Okay, well, I would see these are all the numbers, and now it's just a number. It's a number on a piece of paper, and that's very impersonal. That's a thing that I can just look at and figure out a plan for, right? But all of these other thoughts that came along with that was shame. You're so dumb. In with that and creating this excessive amount of overwhelm. So once I wrote it all down, I was able to separate, like, all of this is shame and guilt and fear. And a lot of those are not legitimate. Those are not legitimate. What we're dealing with here is, here's the debt. This is the number, and here it is. It's impersonal. It has no feelings. It's just a number. Boom. There you go. And so I want you to do the same thing for yourself. When you kind of have brain dumped and you want you to start separating, what are some of the areas of shame, guilt, fear? All of those things while they do add to your plate, you're going to brain dump. And then the second one, you're going to separate between legitimate thoughts and concerns and shame, guilt, fear, lies, things that are not accurate about us. Then we move into step 3, which is, at least for me, this is step 3. You might need to spend more time on step 2. Sometimes that takes a long time. But I like to think about these thoughts, all of these things that feel absolutely overwhelming. And we've kind of now separated them in between, okay, these are legitimate concerns and these are not. Once you have that list of things that are legitimate concerns, you need to consider, do you have control over any of those situations? Truly, do you have control over any of those situations? And I'm not talking that could make a difference, that could potentially change current outcomes or outcomes in the future. And then secondly, do you have the current capacity to be able to hold on to that, to take that on? Okay. I don't know how many times that I have gotten to this process here, and I look at the things in my life and I think, wow, I really don't have control over that situation, and I also don't have the capacity to really deal with that right now. It doesn't mean that we ignore those problems. It doesn't mean that we push them away or self back up off the floor when you failed, when you've fallen off the wagon and you're feeling an excessive amount of overwhelm. You're going to have to be honest with yourself and recognize you're not going to be able to tackle every problem ever in that moment. Be honest, because I've done that before. I don't know how many times I've looked at my life and thought, oh my gosh, look at all these things that I have to fix right now. There were areas where we looked at our budget and cut out, but there came a point in our lives where we had cut out everything that we could in the budget. We both had jobs and we were both working as have in that situation where it was like, okay, this happened to us. I didn't choose this. I didn't choose to be in this situation. Maybe some of my decisions weren't the best, but there were a lot of decisions that weren't up to me. It was things that happened to me. And so I'm doing my best to function. As there are going to be things that you just don't have the control or the capacity to be able to make any significant changes or any progress on those areas. I want you to give yourself grace, and I want those to be, again, not shoved to the back of the closet, but just set on the shelf until you can. Now, I don't want you to think that I'm saying, well, see, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that. When we were experiencing what we were experiencing financially, it leaked into every area of my life. It leaked into my creative work. It leaked into my overwhelm. It didn't make things magically disappear. But what it did do is it made all of those things more tangible. Items that I could set on the shelf, order in my room, it lit it up to recognize, it's just clothes. It's still a lot of clothes. I still have to put them all up. It doesn't, now I can see it for what it is, and I can move through that one step at a time. I can move as slow as I need to move through that. So that's kind of how I personally organize my overwhelm. You can retrofit that. And again, anything that I share is always for you to kind of tweak next. But let me get a quick drink real quick. Looks like we have one person on. I don't know who's here, but hello. Thank you for coming. Let's see if I can see. I'm enjoying if you didn't see this earlier, this is my favorite little energy drink. Okay. So, multi-passionate creative. A lot of the overwhelm that I experienced in my kind of things, and when I did that, it wasn't fulfilling in the way that I needed it to be fulfilling for me as an artist, I've done photography and videography. There are so much that I love pursuing, and they're all legitimate artistic mediums that I like pursuing. And it's very difficult when somebody tells you you have to pick one of those. Okay, well, how do I pick just one? Because all of them feel so intertwined. And so a lot of my overwhelm, at least years ago, was also due to the fact that now I'm pushing the urge to, I'm pushing off the urge to, well, just wait till you're better at streaming, wait till you're better for that. And it felt the same way when it came to my creative journey. I felt like, hey, you need to fit this perfect box and then present yourself as this really like nice little, like a bit of organized chaos. And that's why I have that on my YouTube channel, Organized-ish Chaos, because overwhelmed, specifically with your creative process, I would encourage you to consider that maybe you are a multi-passionate creative and trying to fit yourself into this such a small box might be part of the reason why you are feeling this excessive amount of overwhelm. What is a multi-passionate creative? Multi-passionate creative is basically somebody who is medium, and it's because they do it all. They truly do it all, and they feel most alive and they feel most expanded into their skills and their gifts when they are pursuing all of those things. Now, they might not pursue all the things at the same time. It might be in seasons, it might be in cycles, it might be, just for certain periods of time and then they come back to it. Or it might be all at the same time. For me, I'm incorporating all of my skills. I work full time and I am doing this, and I'm one person, and the technology side of things is not my favorite thing, but you know what, I have to make it work. So I'm doing the graphic design, I'm doing the website design, I'm doing the videography, I'm trying to work on my own music, all these different things. I'm writing linear as maybe some other people. You're going to find a lot of joy in change. You like when things get changed up. If you're anything like me, maybe you move around your apartment a lot, or you move around your furniture a lot. Really great with, it's called idea synthesis. So you can take two ideas that are seemingly not related at all and find a connection between the two of them. If any of that seems like it strikes a chord, creative, because you do more things, it's just a certain way that we think. Okay. I remember how awful I felt when, not a new thing. It might be a new term, but it's not a new thing. Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, any of the great artists who pursued multiple artistic mediums and really broke ground for a lot of artists to come after them. All of these people were multi-passionates. Back then it was called a Renaissance man or woman. Now there's terms, polymath, there's Jack, Jill of all trades. Any of those terms, it's not a new thing. It's just that there hasn't been as much space out there for people like us, because everything is so, here's your sales funnel, and it's not life-giving. So that's just a kind of a side note to the organizing your overwhelm. Is if you think, well, you might not need to niche down. It doesn't mean that you don't need to have a focus, or that you don't need to have frameworks in place or a system in place to help you keep that forward momentum. But it doesn't, to create a little bit of a PDF. You can tell I'm tired. Please do that, because that will just be the easiest way for me to send you any of those fun things, because I also have these little I can't decide. I feel like maybe I should make them a sticker, just because I think they're fun. But I have these little graphics that I want to send your way. This one. So yeah. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up for you guys. But yeah, wherever this is going to get posted, once we get to the end of this live stream, I have no idea what's going to happen. So I don't know how this gets from live to video on YouTube. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay. So you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. But I made these fun inspired deaths. Okay. But for the creative, because I never got to, so I think I'm gonna do that. But I just thought it would be funny to make these like, oh, you've died of dysentery and whatever. So this first one is you've died of dysentery and guaranteeing ourselves that we are going to do this thing. And like 2 steps in, we're like, yeah. You've died of dysentery and creative burnout. Yeah. You've died of dysentery. Goal setting. Because we never, ever, ever, ever do that. Ever. You've died of dysentery and poor time management. Yeah. Linearly. So, yeah. Doesn't mean that we have to have no time management whatsoever. Is that the last one? Okay. Yeah, that's the last one. So those are kind of fun, but I can send those to you. And the funny story about this, so I'm not all into like the AI stuff, but I was curious just like what it was all about. So I did one of those AI things and I put in, what did I put in? Something about the Oregon Trail, something, pixels or whatever. And this is what it came out with. And the thing that I love, have a head. And then this little guy, I love how he's in the wagon. He's not even pulling the wagon. Not to mention, I don't know how historically accurate it is that it was horses pulling the wagons. Oh, here we go. Back to here. Cool. So that's the lesson for today. I'm going to move into doing some journaling and some different things. You can feel I'm going to turn up the chat and chat with you here, but I'm going to just do some kind of sleepy Saturday vibes. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, yeah, let's get the music going. And I will in my personal life if you care, which is fine if you don't. Bum ba dum bum. Bum bum bum. Oh, come on. Oh, it's thinking. Oh, it's working. Cool. Sorry, I just wanted to see if it was working. I'm so weird. Cool beans. All right, let's get this over here. Let's get the music going. Let's turn this up a bit. It's a little better, huh? It's kind of a little creepy, actually. Let's look at something else. We'll keep this for a little bit. See how it goes. Alright. Who is here? If you don't mind, if you're actually live and it's not just myself watching myself so that I can feel better about myself watching myself, please drop in the chat who you are. I'd love to say hello. And no, I'm not. See, now that's like a little too loud. Little did you know, you're coming to, oh, what is that called? The Never-Ending Story. It's doing it for me. What about Vlogger? What do you think about Vlogger? Let's see what happens here. What about this one? Ah, this is what I'm feeling. I wanted like a low-key vibes. This is what I'm digging. Okay. This is what you came for. Let's see. Is this the right one? Is this... Okay. Let me make this a little bigger for you. I'm going to show you a little bit about what I'm working on here. So, oh, hold on. Covering myself. Okay, there we go. This is kind of the, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I created this little strategy, and it's just a little checklist to kind of help me figure out my quarter one for long form video. I did pretty, was not great. These were all ideas. My goal, okay, technically, I can now highlight this one. Now we can highlight and check that one off because we're doing it right now. And then we are gonna work on these ones. This one I'm gonna move down because it's finished, but I have not posted it. I'm gonna move it past August. You know what? What we are gonna do is just, so October. So basically I'm just gonna push everything back. I was in Nashville last week, but I didn't end up recording like I thought I was going to. So let's look here. This one I want to do, I'm going to highlight this one because this is one I definitely want to do, which is kind of going to be rolled into this one, I think. I don't know if I'm going to do this one because, like I said, I ended up feeling terrible, so I didn't end up doing any of that. So I kind of have a strategy here. YouTube, gosh, I can't tell if that's like too loud or not loud enough for music. Sorry, peeps. It like gets loud or soft. It's like one or the other. So on YouTube, they have this thing called Help, Hub, or Hero videos, or that's what they used to call them. But I followed her guide for kind of how to plan your first quarter for YouTube. Okay, it's a bit overwhelming, especially when I work full time. But I'm figuring it out, and it's taking some time. So she suggests 4 videos a month in your first quarter. I am not doing this many videos. I did 4 in July. I did do some in August. I kind of pushed them into September, actually. So this one was supposed to be what I learned in my first month vlogging was supposed to be in August, and I didn't get that posted. It's pretty much done. I just need to post it. Great. So I have, she suggests working on Help and Hub, those kinds of things. Very SEO friendly, very searchable. Those are Help videos. Your Hub videos are going to be your videos that, like, it's the stuff you really want to do, right? Life. Those are a lot of fun for me, that lifestyle kind of content, but that's generally not, like, it's not SEO friendly. It's kind of what people stay for. So like this apartment tour, I have it in Hub because it's something that I would be interested in doing, but that's actually more of a viral type video because people love those videos. Apartment tours, clean with me, all those kinds of things. The streaming, I do, but I would like to actually have specific videos, but I was having issues with YouTube, and so I would like to have all of these. These were supposed to be done before this challenge started, and that didn't happen. It's a long story. That didn't happen. Basically, it's a long story, and I ended up in therapy. So here we are doing our best. So yeah, I don't know. I am trying to read 50 books this year. I'm on 30 books between reading and audio books. I used to think audiobooks were cheap as like the book reading challenge update, work out with me. I don't know. I hate filming myself in the gym, so I don't know how much. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to italicize that because I don't know how much I want to do that. And then why I'm loving Apple TV. We actually started using Apple TV, and I love the shows that they have. So I thought about making a video about that. Like, is it really with my friend Marty while I was down in Nashville? So Might do a little bit of that. I don't know. And then October, I think, see, this was originally my September. So in October, I think I want to do some other things. We might be going to Michigan in October, so I might, let's see, hub videos. So maybe instead of the Nashville vlog, I'll do a Michigan vlog, because that I would have enough time to plan for that. And then Q3 planning, book planning. I don't know what this was. See, sometimes I write things down and I'm like, I don't know why I was. And let's see, October. We should do something like Halloween-y, huh? Let's do Halloween inspired. We don't know what that'll be, but. So my goal is to get this printed out at the library, and then I will highlight and check these off as I work on them. This will be just a little bit more organized. That would be helpful for me. So let's go to this guy. Nope, wrong one. Sorry, guys. Haha, okay. Don't you love this? Got this from Amazon. I'm not a huge Amazon fan, but that one was actually pretty legit, not gonna lie. Okay. Oh, let's see if it'll let me. Is that it? Hello. Hello, hello. Yes, I love this keyboard. If you're a Howl's Moving Castle fan, this is my keypad, my desktop pad. Little Sophie and Howl. Yeah, I love them. This is a Bluetooth keyboard. It's battery. And then it's plugged in right now. But it's got one of those little, it's like a little USB thing that you plug into the computer. So right now, it's plugged into my laptop, which is here, because my desktop died today. That was fun. Yay, expensive. Let me see if I'm able to... I wonder if I can chat with you on YouTube. Do I dare try? I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna try this. I don't know how it's gonna go. Oh, hold on. Close. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh. No, I don't want a poll. Hello, friend. Yay, I figured out how to chat with you. Amazon. So like I said, I'm not a huge Amazon fan, to be honest, but sometimes, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's just, they got what you need. I'm gonna find this for you. My vicarious life. What's wrong with desktop? I've repaired and built a few. Oh, honestly, it's just old. Let's see. It is my Mac. It just keeps like going kaputs. It just keeps going kaputs. I know that it's older. I stopped updating it after a certain period of time because it was too, like, the iOS updates were too intense for the computer, and it couldn't keep up. So I'm sure it has to do with that. Like, I can't use Safari anymore. I'm gonna turn that on. Can't use Safari anymore. It's in May, so it's probably 11. I think it's probably like 11 years old. So I don't even know if there's anything wrong. I think it's just old. So I have no idea. I have no idea. come on. My orders. I want to find this. I don't have money to do that. Okay? Let's search for keyboard. Ha! There it is. I found it. Here's the link to the keyboard. If you can't hear me. There's the link to the keyboard if you're interested. It was like 30 bucks. And the thing that's really cool about it is like, if I want to, I can connect it to that's my husband. You can connect it to your phone. Yeah, I've seriously considered, especially now that I'm getting into streaming, which, like, I like it. I like streaming. I mean, I have to work on it. It's new. It's something different for me, but I enjoy it. I wonder, I'm like, oh, I feel like maybe I've seen some people with some really awesome PC setups that I'm like, that looks legit. I'd like to do more gaming, things like that. So, oh, and the thing about this one, my vicarious life, you will like this. My mom got this for me before I got married as a gift, and I do music, so I work in Logic, and so she got this for me and got it like specially made to where there's, is it like, I think it's 1 terabyte of hard drive space. Correct me if I'm saying that wrong. So it's not even just like, but who knows? Who knows? All right. Okay, I'm going to work on some journaling. Well, I don't know if I'm going to journal or if I'll just take some of my goals and put them on here. What color should I do? So there's kind of, these are a little different. This one, let's see if you can see that. Kind of. These have like really tiny, you can barely see it, but it's very grid-like. I'm not really going to do a bullet journal. I don't know if I have quite that kind of time, but this one is cool because it actually has a lot of little dots. So I'm trying to decide. Oh, this one's perforated too. I didn't realize that. So if I ever wanted to take these out, okay. These are lay flat, which is sweet. And they were at Barnes & Noble. So I have to decide, do I want what color wing? And then I think I'll use one of these for more like goal setting and planning and prepping. I used to journal a lot. I don't as much anymore. I don't know why I stopped, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of like journaling all the time. So I think I'm feeling more productive right now. So I'm going to work on maybe some of my goals, what I was working on earlier. So I'm going to set this guy aside for now. We can come back to it. What color should I do? Do you have any thoughts? Maybe I should see if anybody on Instagram. Let's see. Orange. Orange it is. You win, because you're here. All right. So, whoa. It's exciting. These are some pictures. I think I'll skip the pictures. I actually drew this one this was one of my first, it was more of tracing. I traced in my iPad. But I've got some stickers. I have a lot of stickers actually that I need to use. Got a lot of mermaid stuff. Because I like mermaids. And Howl's Moving Castle, obviously. Do some of those. What is everybody working on today? Other than being here randomly. I've got tons of Ghibli stickers. Anyway. Lower your bit rate. I don't know. Well, sounds like yeah, I don't know. It keeps telling me that keep getting this signal thing that's like, oh, this is not controls. What is this? Just dropped frames detected 38% over the last 2 minutes. Well, thanks, Streamlabs, for letting me know. Some frames have not been uploaded. I bet you